So, when I grew up, I was a huge Hardy Boys fan. They were the absolute coolest. Matter of fact, when I was in 8th grade, I think it was 8th grade, I even bleached my hair, dyed it different colors because Jeff Hardy did it. I mean, the fishnets, Team Extreme, I had their logo on a necklace when I was in 7th grade. They were the coolest. When I first heard Jeff Hardy do music, I was incredibly excited. I mean, you look at him. He looks like a rocker. I read their autobiography, I watched their DVDs, and everything about him had meaning. It was all art. Even his wrestling moves were called things like poetry in motion and whisper in the wind. So, I'm on MySpace, and I'm looking for Jeff Hardy's music. It's under a band name, Peroxygen. And just like everyone else, when I first saw it, I was trying to figure out, what? Why would you do that? If you want to look this up, it is PROXWHY ? I read somewhere that he got the idea from reading the back of an aerosol can, but it's a horrible name. Regardless, he's a creative, he's an artist. I don't have to understand it. I'm so excited to finally hear what one of my heroes put out creatively. I'm expecting these massive riffs. Metal, rock. I mean, keep in mind, it's the early 2000s. Have you ever dreamed about a meal, and when you get it, it is so subpar and so forgettable that you almost wish it was bad so that you could hate it, so you could have feelings for it instead of just not giving a shit? It's kind of how I felt. So, jump ahead, 20 years later, and I'm walking through a CD store in Fort Lauderdale, and I see Similar Creatures. I pick it up. I know that face. I know that fucking face paint. Jeff Hardy. Teenage me is screaming on the inside. It's $2. Even if it's awful, I own a Jeff Hardy CD. So, pick it up, and when I first listened to it, my wife was with me. Keep in mind, I had already experienced Peroxygen 20 years before. It wasn't good, so I'm not expecting much. And when the first song, Modest, the 2012 remix, comes on, I can tell you, it met my expectations. Fucking forgettable. My wife even looked at me. This is not good. I wasn't expecting much. Still, I want to give it its time, see if it grows on me. And this is why I do this. Because I listen to this album over and over and over while I'm at work, while I'm at the gym, in the car. And there's some decent stuff on here. Problem number one with this album, though, is the production. This entire thing, it really feels like a decently produced demo. Now, decently produced demo, that's way different from a ready-to-go album. The production hurts on this. I could even put up with bad production if the songs were memorable. Now, this is no discredit to whoever the band is. I can't find any info on who actually played on this album other than Jeff Hardy. So if Jeff Hardy did all the music, you know what? It doesn't even matter because the riffs are good, the drums are good, the songs are there. But Hardy's lyrics are kind of cringy, and there are no vocal hooks really. The production in his vocals, there's so many effects laid on it that at one point I was trying to figure out if maybe it's like an ode to 90s ministry, because his vocals are so buried. And on top of being buried under layer after layer after layer of effects, there's no power behind his vocals. There's no passion. It sounds like somebody gave him a sheet of words and he just got up there. I am a dying breed, don't wanna mess with me. Come on, man. It's your album. Put something behind it. But you know what? Like I was saying, I'm glad I gave this its time, because even for those complaints, there are some decent tracks on here. Another Me reminds me a lot of this band that my mom used to listen to when I was growing up called DC Talk. They had a song called Jesus Freak. And I remember it had a really cool hook to it, mainly in this rap part. It's like almost like a pre-chorus. This really gives me those vibes. Soul Tied in a Knot, it's not bad. The shining star of this album, though, absolutely is Human Anomaly. If you get a chance, that is the one to check out. It feels the most put together. It feels the best produced. Even Hardy's lyrics have something, a little oomph behind them. It's got a great chorus. His lyrics throughout the entire album are really kind of cringy. The whole theme behind every album is, look at how unique I am. But here's the irony. If you have to write 9 songs about how unique you are, none of it's unique anymore. I will tell you this. The album cover, I think it's really cool. It's just a bunch of pictures of Jeff Hardy's face paint when he goes to wrestle. And I always appreciated his visual art. I think it's really cool. His face paint especially. I don't think there's anyone doing anything like it in what bit of wrestling that I still see on like TikTok and YouTube. So overall, I would say if you get a chance, you see this album and it's relatively inexpensive, absolutely pick it up. Just for Human Anomaly, Soul Tied in a Knot, and Another Me. And I would even say the first song grows on you. That's Modest, the 2012 remix. Now, of course, you can check this out on Spotify. You can check this out on your regular music streaming sites. But I always encourage, if you can get a hard copy of this and you're really interested in checking out, go for it. And with any albums that I talk about, I always say, don't take my word for it. I'm one guy with particular taste in music. You might like something I don't. So give it a shot. And if you want to, like I said, start with Human Anomaly. That is the best song on here.